What did you think was the problem before we started working together?
Yeah, I think the problem before we started working together, I felt a little bit of a lack of direction, but then also not trusting myself. So kind of being indecisive and not just picking a direction and pursuing it. So that was my challenge.
Yeah. And what did you try in the past that wasn't working?
I had been in my role a little over a year, and the majority of that during the pandemic. And so I'd primarily just tried email communication with donors. And while I got some responses, really hadn't gotten a lot. And so something emphasized in Courage Lab is phone conversations. And that has made a big difference just picking up the phone and calling people because I wasn't always getting a response when I sent emails.
Yeah, right on. I love it. And where would you say, you kind of talked about this, but where would you say you were struggling with when it comes to fundraising and major gifts?
I think I was spending a lot of time on things that were not producing results. So again, sending like tons of email updates or email invites. And so, yeah, it wasn't that I was working hard, but it wasn't really yielding results.
Yeah. And what's changed? What's different now?
I think the biggest thing Courage Lab has helped me with is mindset. So how I think about myself and our donors and money. And so there were a lot of mental blocks to just kind of being scared to picking up the phone and call people or inviting them to lunch. And so it's helped me kind of get past my own fear and hurdles that were things made up in my mind and not reality. And so it just made me more bold in my outreach to donors.
I love that so much. You definitely are. You call people all the time. So
yeah.
It's like a normal thing for you now, which you're amazing. Yeah, I love that. And have there been like any specific goals that you've met or just habits that you've built, like any tangible things that have been different?
Yeah, let me check if I made a note on that. Because again, it's a little hard because I feel like I'm in that like just connecting with people phase since I really hadn't yet. So
yeah.
In the next 3 months, I feel like there will be a lot more like, and I met them and now we made a nest. And but yeah, I guess, will you repeat the question?
Of course, yeah. Have there been like any specific habits that you've built or like tangible goals that you've met, whether it's like money raised or it's just like calling a certain number of people or like reaching out to your whole list or anything like that?
Yeah, I think there's been several tangible things. Like one, I was starting with like way too big of a group of people. And so kind of honing that down and picking my top people. And then I've just had a lot higher success rate of actually connecting with people, getting them on the phone, getting to know them more, or scheduling lunches and in-person things. And so I think the tangible piece right now is really that connection. And I know that to come in the coming months, then I will be able to make those asks because I'm building real relationships instead of just emailing people a lot.
Yeah, that's so good. And you're probably, it sounds like you're enjoying that more. You're enjoying your job more, right?
Yeah, I think like when there were things I was like avoiding or afraid of doing, we don't feel good. And so like facing things and just doing what I need to do, I feel more confident and just happier in my role.
I love it. I love that so much. So last question, what would you say to someone who is consider working with me and going through Courage Lab?
Yeah. I know for me, Courage Lab is what I was looking for, someone to push me, to challenge me, and then give some general direction, but allow me to kind of figure out how to actually implement that. So it was the right fit because it's what I was looking for. So if you're looking for someone to push you and challenge you, then I would highly recommend Courage Lab.
Woohoo! Thank you.